Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Wednesday Night Live. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Tim is on vacation, so Brian down there, right down there. Say hi, Brian. Say hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Brian will be doing the news and advocacy tonight, so everybody be prepared for that. It should be good.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
All right. And our guest tonight is Matthew Salter. Hello, Matthew. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, and then everybody knows that guy over there, Tom from Wisconsin. How are you today, Tom? That's great. I love it. A man of few words, silent. It's beautiful.
Yeah, just so Tom knows, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Tommy boy. Mic on.
How's this?
Damn it, he fixed it. All right, go ahead.
Now you sound horrible.
Oh.
Doing great. Got my fishing license yesterday. Ready to go drown some worms and stuff this weekend. Busted out the smoker today. Had some ribs. Fantastic. Zachary, shut up. Hi, chat.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Matthew.
In chat.
Brian,
Zachary.
John, you both suck.
Yeah.
I miss you, Tim.
Oh, man. No, we don't all suck. Brian, how is Mr.
Yes, sir.
Power tonight?
I am actually doing pretty good. Sorry, I'm trying to get resituated again. Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good. Just working hard at it and just trying to keep up with everything and, seeing what's going on. Like, I enjoy these shows because sit here and talk about all sorts of things that, we weren't able to do before.
Yeah.
So it's great.
Tonight should be a good show. We want to hear from you guys. Any idea is not stupid, so I want to hear your guys' idea. This is a chance for all you guys to throw out some ideas, and we want to hear them. It's time to stand up for yourself. Stand up for something. Get on that box. We want to hear it. I don't care how crazy it sounds. It doesn't matter. We want to hear any ideas that you have on saving the industry and what you would do differently. And we're all going to listen to you guys and get some of this stuff out. And that's why we have this man right here with us. Matthew Salter is going to join us. And I'm going to let Matthew take a few minutes here, just in case anybody doesn't know who this man is. He's going to give you a refresher course on who he be. Yeah, Matt.
Well, put it very simply. Name's Matthew Salter. Been in the industry for about going on 7 years now. Quit a 3-pack-a-day habit with vaping, and my day job is literally to keep all of the vapor companies that you hold near and dear to your hearts compliant and ensure that they are following everything the government tells them to follow and that they're creating a safe product for you guys to vape. I was the treasurer for the United Vapors Alliance. Wore the shirt tonight just before it, put on those wonderful rallies out in DC. That was a lovely nightmare, but a lot of fun. And general all-around asshole from the Vaping Legion. If you've known me for a number of years, I'm very outspoken on just exactly what we can do to save this industry.
Yeah, you brought up the great thing, the rally. And I don't know if we talked about it before, but what do you think, Matthew, was different at that time? Was it just that it was just perfect timing for that to happen, or what else do you think? Because that's what we're getting to. How did we get there? We need to get there again. But what do you think was different?
It really was the perfect storm where everything was on the cusp of boiling over. I mean, if you remember, it was kind of just a few months before things really went crazy in the U.S. again with, kind of riots and whatnot. And we had Trump in office, and he was probably at the pinnacle of all of the heat that he had and all the hate that he had. And he was trying to pander to a lot of his different critics, both politicians and consumers or, constituents. And so there was a lot of call for him to ban vaping. And, we seen him originally come out and just say like, yeah, we don't like that. We're going to get rid of it. And everybody speculated, what did they catch Barron with a jewel or, something like that. And then somebody, sat him down and said, hey, this is the vaping industry, man. Like, here's what it's about. And you see a complete 180 from him. He started to embrace it, and he's like, no. If you're using it to quit smoking, that's great. But it's all the other types of vaping that are bad. And we were under just immense pressure and scrutiny, and it was literally on the cusp of a full flavor ban of the government. And I dream about that very day, that very first rally we did, because it couldn't have happened any better. And the one specific instance I'll bring up is when dealing with Capitol Police and dealing with all of the different types of police entities in DC, because there's like 4 or 5 different police entities, and they all don't work with each other. They all hate each other. Yeah. They said, if we tell you to get off the ellipse because something's going on, you get off the ellipse fast. Like we had less than 10 minutes to move however many people we had across the street.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened. We were scheduled to start at noon, and they came out at literally 11:50 and said, Trump's flying out. You need to leave the ellipse now. And man, our hopes and dreams were crushed.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were going to do. We had about 700 people there at that time. And I remember because I thought we were so badass. We had those little earpieces and the like walkie-talkies and stuff. Yeah. And we're getting everybody across the street. And at Matthew Elliott, one of my brothers in the Legion and the UVA, he goes, "Wait a second, Viking shield wall." We're all like, what? He goes, "Viking shield wall with the signs." And so we're all screaming in the microphones, "Viking shield wall." And you literally just see 700 vapors take the signs, hold them up to the sky. And it was crazy because you actually saw Trump come out the south gate of the White House, gets into, Marine One to go to Air Force One. He flies directly over us.
It was a perfect shot too.
And and he looks down and he tweets at that moment, like, "Holy shit, vapors. Like, I see this, he let us know."
Yeah.
And I think just that many vapors being there at the cusp of a flavor ban and having it was a perfect storm of having Trump fly over us and seeing all of those signs, you could not have asked for something better to happen organically.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there will never be another time where we can make something perfect like that happen again, even if we tried our hardest. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Look at that image. That just, oh man.
Yeah,
putting that rally on and seeing that image still gives me goosebumps. Like, it rocks me over my core, man. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
It just.
I remember watching that and how upset I was when it was you guys were live and you can hear everybody kind of starting to get a little pissed off when you guys were asked to move, and I was like, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me!" I was like, I was just about to shut it off because I was like, I can't watch this because this is just so fucking wrong. Did he do it? All these things are flying through my mind. Did he do it on purpose? Is this something they had planned? They knew it was going to happen, or it was just a spur of the moment thing. He had to get out, whatever. But I was literally pissed off, and I was seconds away from shutting it off. But then I said, I'm going to leave it on. Something good's got to happen here. And it did.
It was one of those things like Capitol Police or Park Service was like, we had been working on the rally for about 8 months prior to it actually happening because these things take a lot of time. They take a lot of money and a lot of paperwork. They said, they told us from the get-go, we can shut you down at any moment for any reason. There's nothing you can do to stop it. And they were just like, just pray we don't have to. So when that happened, like I said, we were crushed by the sheer grace of God and President Trump himself. He flew right over top of us.
Yeah.
One thing I like about this picture is that, you talk about like, vape rallies and like how people get together and you've been to shows, I've been to shows, and, people have seen shows on YouTube and stuff and how there's always like this haze and people are like checking clouds everywhere. This photo, there's none of that. All this photo is, it's all it is people concerned about.
Pretty stiff rules in for that. We told people mouth to lung only.
Yeah.
And if you can't, then you need to kind of walk across the street to the monument or whatever. And we had security for the whole thing, so everybody kept it pretty chill. And dude, when we were done, Park Service literally told us it was the cleanest rally they had ever had. There wasn't a drop of anything on the ground.
That's awesome.
Like, we knew we had one shot to make the best impression, and we did.
Yeah, it was a great moment. I mean, we're watching it, and I was just like sitting there. When that did happen, I was like, okay, no, don't shut it off. I think something's going to change here. And then I automatically thought to myself, I don't know why, I thought, okay, Fox has got to be there. CNN.
Fox was there. CNN jumped right up on the stage, filming the whole thing. And it was like, after Trump flew over and we knew he was no longer in the White House, it didn't matter.
Yeah,
we went on with the show. And it was picked up by every major news outlet. There were, Vice picked it up, Bloomberg picked it up, and then all of their affiliates started talking about it weeks later, and it just reverberated through the media. And I was like, we could not have asked for a better outcome for the entirety of the event. And that's ultimately what got people like Greg Conley and fucking Tony Abood
That's
to the seat with the president.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Fox was the only one there. I think after that tweet, it all changed. Then I think CNN showed up. Everybody else, okay, they said like, okay, we need to be there. If Trump is going to take time to tweet this, and
they
there's
started
this many
taking
people,
it serious because
Yeah.
Bad Man
Yeah.
Orange
yeah, because I
said
saw the
something about it.
Yes, I forget who I was watching live at the time was following the Fox people. So they were kind of like behind the Fox people, and I was just like, okay, guys, remember what you were told. If they ask you a question, say nothing. Say nothing.
Say
Don't-
nothing and get them to we had like
Yeah.
media specialists there, which was like
Yeah.
me and a handful of other people, Greg Conley.
Yeah.
If that's there, bring them to one of those.
Yeah, don't be a blur, because that's, we all know what they can do with audio. They love to nip and cut on audio and take what they need, and that's what I was kind of worried about, but not really. I don't want to use the word worried, because we are passionate, and we are passionate people, and I think a lot of times certain people know how to control that passion. We were talking about it earlier when I was saying I get to that level, all of a sudden I lose it. I can't remember a single word I was going to say, because I've gotten to that level of anger. And so I'm not that person that you want to interview and get me mad, and then I'm gone. I'm going to be off in a tantrum. But it was smart on your guys' part to do that. And to make sure, not just to protect the industry, but to protect that person as well from the media, because they are sharks. They are sharks.
I mean, we definitely had some wild things happen while we were there. Like this lady, we had a speaker who talked about how vaping affected her journey with Christianity and getting closer to God with it. And this lady, man, she scared the living daylights out of me. She came right up to the front of the stage screaming about blasphemers and all this, and not gonna lie, totally felt cool, because I got to be like, can we get security? And the Capitol Police came over and escorted her out. I was like, that was so badass. Like,
you gave her a platform. She jumped on it. Man.
Hey, she shot her shot and she lost. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, what it was is just like that. It's just like she saw that soapbox and she got on top of that box, and that's the thing, that I wanted to do this show today, because if you look throughout history, that we're not just this country, but every other country's got a reason to fight for certain things. And I think it's time that we start doing that and taking the initiative and stepping up on that soapbox and being heard. And the only way that's going to work and that's going to happen is if we all join forces and start speaking up. And there's no more, I'm a DIYer, I don't give a shit. There's no more, hey, I can get my stuff online. Obviously, that's going to be a little bit harder now. The things are being taken away from us every single day. And like I was telling Matt and the rest of the guy, how much more needs to happen before you guys get on that soapbox? Because if we don't start getting it, there's supposedly 10 million of us.
Oh, that way more than that now.
Well, now I heard 10, I heard 15 million. But that's my point. Where are we? Where are these people? And I know not everybody's on Facebook. I know everybody's not on Instagram or Twitter and all these other places. And I get advocacy is hard. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. You gotta put into it. And that's what this show today is about. Is we want to hear your guys' thoughts and ideas. Throw them at Matthew and see what we get out of it. I love to hear what you guys have to say. But I'm going to start with Brian first. So we're going to start with our co-host first. And then as you guys I'm going to pay attention to the chat. Matthew will as well. And he can kind of see your thoughts. But anything is possible, guys. Let's hear him. Put him in there and we'll discuss them. Brian, you are up.
Things to help. It's always an interesting question, because it's one of those things to me. Is no matter what you say, there's always going to be something against what you say, no matter what. And then, that's always going to be it. So, I mean, to me, it's just my thoughts. I mean, I personally like it better when we were able to explore everything, when we were able to come out with new products and innovation and all that stuff. Absolutely. Did I like it that certain packages weren't in stride per se, or didn't look a certain way? Absolutely not. I didn't like it, but there's no way we could stop it. And I feel that if we were able to kind of stop a lot of those things from happening, like the bottling, or the labels, stuff like that. I think that could have helped us in the long run. But it's just, I think if we could have gotten rid of those, like not even getting rid of, or like stop the people from doing stuff like that, I think that would have really helped. I wish, people were in general, like at shows and stuff, they were more in tune to advocacy related stuff. Not like you had to be like full into it, just like do a little bit to help. And, I think that would have helped it a lot.
An hour a week. Start slow.
No, not even that. It's a half hour, maybe. Just talk to one person, tell them how this helped you. Just do that. I think another thing too is, to me personally, I think we got to a point where there was too many advocacy groups, and when there was so many groups, nobody knew where to go. There was no direction. Yeah. Nobody knew where to.
What's that old saying, Brian?
Try to help funnel money to. Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, and there was a time frame that was 2016, I want to say, or 2016, 2017, I think it was. There was a lot of different advocacy groups, but there wasn't a centralized thing. There wasn't like a, hey, let's help this state, or let's help that state, or let's help with this thing. It was more of, okay, you give money to me, and then I'll just take care of my part, and everyone else can just screw off. To me, like, that didn't help us at all. Like, those little things that just irritated me, like, what to do. I mean, the things that helped is us helping other smokers. The things that helped is innovation with these products. The thing that helped is me helping somebody else learn how to build, me showing somebody else a device that I thought was cool, and they had no clue what it was. Me showing them how to run the device. Like, that's the stuff that I liked. That's the thing that somebody else can show somebody else and help them too. Yeah. It's the tools of teaching. So, that's just one little part. I mean, we could talk about disposables, we could talk about pods and stuff like that, but I mean, disposables had their purpose, pods had their purpose. Tanks had their purpose, coils, RDAs have their purpose. There's little niche things about everything. Yeah. I mean, I use disposables. I mean, for out and about.
Yeah, I mean, people need to realize this is not just the only industry that has different factors to it. Every industry has different, whether it's distribution, it's manufacturing, whether it's sales, we're no different than any other product that's out there, you guys. And the sad part is those other industries seem to be able to work together. And I think that was the biggest problem this industry had. The distro wanted this, shops wanted this, websites wanted this, the owners wanted that. It was just so much going on, and it didn't help. Like Brian's saying, it didn't help that we were fighting cities, states, counties, federal. It was impossible. I mean, Matthew knows it's probably impossible just to keep track of who's banning what. Can't hear you.
You're muted on stream.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Excellent. See, I'm trying to be polite about vaping into the microphone so I don't sound like a loser. That's what I get. No, there was probably a good 6 to 8 months where all I did day in and day out is try and live stream every single municipal, city, local, state ban hearing on anything to do with vaping. And there were some days where there were 7 or 8 different hearings all across the country. And it's like you would have 3-4 people at each one if you were lucky.
Yeah, yeah. And Zachary, the money has a lot to do with it. I get that part, but now that was the case. It was a big part of it 10 years ago, but it's not so much anymore because this is not a $100,000 industry. This is not a $1 million industry. This is now a $4 to $5 million industry with a estimated in 2028 of 40 something million dollar or $40 billion. Dude, this is not, you know what I mean? We're not a small percentage of profit. There's a lot of money to be made here. And is it more than what tobacco makes? Probably not, not even close, but or what they can make tax wise in the States. I get that, but I think money is a little bit less of the, I don't know. I don't know how to state it. You know what I'm trying to get at? I think it's more important than it was, say, 10 years ago. And does that make sense, Matthew?
Yeah.
It does. And realistically, what you're seeing, everything you're seeing now, the PACT Act and online sales going away, I think the federal government realized we were a much bigger group or a much bigger thing than they originally thought we were by far. And up until that point that we came along, they only dealt with 5 or 6 companies with tobacco. You know, your Philip Morris's, your R.J. Reynolds, your British American Tobacco. They only had a few guys to handle, to corral, if you will, and they got a lot of kickbacks from it. And here we come. I mean, I don't know if you guys seen the statistics on the PMTAs from January. Over 6 million products have been filed for PMTAs so far.
That's crazy.
That vastly outnumbers the amount of cigarettes that are on the market.
Yeah, it does.
So everything you see now is the FDA and the federal government simply just trying to take control a little bit and trying to rein us in, because for the longest time we were the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
You know, anybody with $5,000 and a little bit of gumption could start a vape company. And that's what a lot of people did. I mean, this industry is founded on the backs of felons and addicts who had little to nothing and found their out in vaping. Yeah. So it's for us right now, it's about becoming more professional. It's about being legitimate businesses and running like a legitimate business. And it's about playing ball with the government as much as it sucks. I don't think we have a death date anymore. No. If I'm being honest, I don't think we're ever really going to see flavors banned federally. I don't think, you know, without an act of Congress, they can't completely scrap us, period. Yeah. And it's just, we got to grow up. It's time to grow up.
That's what I said last week. There's no way this industry is going away. You take the numbers that are projected for this industry in the next 5-6 years. There's just no way that they're just going to let that go away. There's just no way. And I don't see the same thing you said. I don't see flavors going anywhere. They're going to stick around. What I do see, and you probably, I don't know if you would agree with me, is just a lack of choice. And
that's exactly what it is. I mean, with the PMTAs were designed to, you know, if you didn't have X amount of dollars to pony up, or you didn't have X regulatory knowledge to do, you know, bring it to the table, it's designed to make certain portions of the industry fall away. Yep. You know, and unfortunately, the biggest portion that's affected is small mom and pop manufacturers. You know, same thing with the PACT Act. Anybody can comply with it as long as you have enough money, enough time, and enough regulatory know-how to navigate it. You know, these certainly aren't death sentences for the industry, but it is a death sentence for a portion of the industry, and they're trying to whittle it down so it's more manageable. Yeah. And realistically, as much as that sucks, it's kind of almost what has to happen, because we need to ensure that products are safe to vape. I mean, a lot of people tout there's only 4 ingredients in e-liquid. I can tell you right now, there's thousands of ingredients in e-liquid. And it's everything that happens with the chemical reactions between the flavorings, the nicotine, the VG, the PG at certain temperatures, certain metals, certain, you know, what your tank's made out of makes a huge difference. If it's plastic or glass or what it is. Yeah. I mean, massive things that nobody ever tends to think about. And we got to kind of, I don't want to say consolidate. That's a dirty word. Consolidate is a super dirty word.
It is a dirty word.
But we just got to.
It's sad that we have to wean it out. Let's just use that word. It's basically what it's happening. And a lot of this industry owes a lot to those individuals that got it started. But then again, I hate putting it this way, but they had an opportunity to make a difference when that money was rolling in. And they chose to just do other things with it. And that's the sad part. They had an opportunity to grow. They had an opportunity to ensure that their company was going to stick around by reinvesting in themselves and that company and their product, studies, research. Hey, if I took my $10,000 that you were talking about 10 years ago and invested it into a company like an e-liquid company, and I started seeing that money rolling in my mind, I'm thinking growth. Number one, how am I going to grow? How am I going to make more money? And how do I ensure this product is safe? Because I know that this product is making me money. And if it goes away, I don't have any money. So you find people to invest, find people to do those studies. But nobody did that. Everybody was just
buying Lambos.
like that.
Buying Lambos.
Well, that's the thing is that, like, you know, if back in the day, if we would have been a bit more organized with like fewer less groups and a bit more organized with specialized groups, if we wouldn't have done like labels things, and if we didn't have the Wild West shootout of people making liquid for like, $20 for 400 mils, whatever, what have you to people. If we took away those three things and like actually like made it better, I think we'd be a whole different position, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. And a big thing we got to remember as an industry is there is somebody standing over top of us who works within us in our industry, except for they have the bajillions of dollars needed to just completely wipe us off the map. And that's big tobacco.
That's big tobacco.
I mean, every company with the word vapor in it has been purchased by big tobacco. Yeah. Period. Tons of long-term e-liquid companies, hardware companies, they were all scooped up. They have the money. They have the regulatory knowledge. They literally wrote the rule book on what we're going through. They got to make up their own rules just by paying enough money. So it's like that's really who we need to be afraid of, is because they hold all the power.
What can you answer Phil's question there, Matt? You have any insight on that?
Question: what's happening when e-juice from the States to Canada? Are you asking, like, if you were to bring e-juice from Canada into the States?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out.
I mean, I think that's the general gist of what he's asking.
Yeah.
I mean, you can bring e-juice from Canada into the States. It's not a problem. There's no real special things to do with it other than how you're getting it shipped to you. Once it hits customs and the border, they're probably going to take a look at it, and you may have a little hang up if they're shipping, via UPS or FedEx or DHL, which DHL doesn't, those three don't even deal with us anymore. So they say. Yeah. However, shipping e-liquid from the US to Canada is an issue because you can only ship or bring over the border 0 milligram.
0, yeah.
You can't actually bring over any nicotine e-liquid over there.
What are you doing, Zachary? You're not vaping butter, buddy. Don't be vaping butter, please.
He misses a diacetyl.
Oh, okay. The old.
I miss diacetyl too, because realistically, diacetyl made e-liquid way better.
Yeah,
and there has never been a recorded amount of diacetyl in an e-liquid that would be even close to giving somebody popcorn lung.
I got a case,
or even the amount that's in cigarettes either.
Right, not even close. And you know what? Diacetyl made some of the best juices.
Yeah, they did.
if there's one thing I could change with the government in terms of vaping, I would bring back diacetyl e-liquid.
You and me both. I mean, I got a couple here.
Oh yeah, there's a couple cherished bottles of old. They may be 5 years old, but they still got that precious diet. There you go. Oh God,
they were the kings of it, and this
much sugar.
This stuff was just so good.
John, I will give you $1,000 of Brian's money to vape that right now.
You want me to vape some of this?
Listen, I have an e-liquid that he really wants right now, so we might have to trade some time.
What are you vaping?
Here, I'll open this one. I'll do this one.
There you go, John.
I'll do the green apple one.
Okay.
I've got his apple butter that he really wants.
First. Let me see what color it is. Ooh, that is some dark shit.
Oh, oh my God.
Jeez.
Some e-juices can age well, some don't. It all depends.
Well, they've been sitting in that box in my shelf for probably, let's say, 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give it a good shake.
Yeah.
And a finger test. Hold on. Fuck, that's so good. I'm
pretty
sorry.
We'll just see John in the background.
I missed that. I missed that though. That crispy treats green apple from them was just delicious. They're gone, right? They're out. They're done, right? That was it.
Ethos is still around,
but not here, right? I think just in the UK.
So. I actually heard from their owner a month ago.
Oh, really?
Hey, he hit me up randomly. I never met him or talked to him before, but I get random messages like that all the time.
Yeah, that's good. That's
I heard that they were gone, but maybe that was
maybe they're just across this pond.
Yeah, they might just be. I thought they were gone in the U.S. after that whole fiasco thing, and it kind of wiped them out. I felt bad for them because that shit was so good. Everybody was vaping that rice, the original rice, the Rice Krispie treat one, the original one, the marshmallow one. That
oh my God, that was so good.
that was
so good. Oh my God,
way too delicious. So Tommy boy,
Yo,
let's hear from you, Tom. Other than piling up your trunk full of guns and going.
well, I mean, that's one option to go about it, but no. Combining all the advocacy groups into one, much like the firearm industry, would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would help, because you just be able to tell people, hey, for advocacy stuff, go here. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about, okay, if you're a shop or, a business or whatever. From the consumer standpoint, just keep buying stuff and let your voice be heard.
Yeah. No, I liked that. I mean, God, how do I put this? And maybe you'll get it, but we need a lobbyist. Obviously, we need a lobbyist. I know you shake your head. I saw that. I saw that. And lobbyists take money. I get that part. And it seems like what Tom is getting to, one united front.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not going to happen because the way we've seen what that causes.
No, this is
each
America, and we don't do. Well, it takes something extremely shitty to happen for us to show one united front.
Egos prevail far too often.
Thank you. Yeah, egos is what jumps in. You got like I said, the distros want a certain thing. The owners want a certain thing. The shops want a certain thing. The websites want a certain thing. The websites are, the shops are pissed off that the websites have free shipping and free tax-free all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. And the shops are getting mad. People get mad at the shops because the shops are charging $30 for a 15 ml bottle of juice. And it's just, you can't win. And President Biden joining, even if he did join this chat, he would forget. So
he wouldn't know how to type. He'd be like, what do buttons do?
He would have to have his.
I would definitely have FBI at my door in less than 3 seconds if Biden were to join this chat. They would swoop through my window and I would be gone. Like Clinton gone.
Swarm.
You'd be sitting there next thing, they'd be like, where'd Matthew go?
It'll be, we have located the target. It's in Florida.
I'll never forget. I was in the shop one day and I had the CIA walk in.
Yeah.
And they flashed their badge at me and they were like, Are you Mr. Salter? And I was like, fuck. And he just looked at me and goes, No, we're here to talk about one of your employees.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, then of course.
I definitely thought to myself, well, today's the day.
Is that Nick? Is that Nick Orlando? Oh, that's right. He doesn't come up. Hey, tell Nick, you're welcome to come on if you'd like to come on as well.
Are you sure you want 2 Florida men in here, John?
Yeah.
Really?
I went through that. I kind of went through that process twice in my life. When I went to work at Livermore Lab, Lawrence Livermore Lab, I had to go through this extensive. I mean, they went all the way back just so I could walk into that place. And then my son's in the Navy, and he's a sub guy, and he's strict up there. And they did the same thing, man.
That's what the case was. The kid was getting a top security clearance. Yeah. I kid you not. And I love this kid to death. He was the dumbest motherfucker I'd ever met in my lifetime. The absolute dumbest motherfucker. And somehow he was being picked for top security clearance in this insane job field, like cryptic intelligence or some shit. And I looked at him and I'm like, we're talking about the same person, right?
Same guy?
Talking about that guy?
The guy that can't give change for $1? The same guy that can't break change for $1.
Right. Just amazing.
Oh yeah, they went all the way to my son's kindergarten teacher, all the way down to his kindergarten teacher, and to the old block that he grew up in. His first official 3 or 4 years that we lived in this one neighborhood, they went through there just to ask what kind of kid he was when he was 5. I was like, "Are you guys serious, dude?"
Serious business.
It's like, yeah, we need to know everything. I'm like, dude, I had people that I hadn't seen like 10 years. Hey, dude, we had FBI at the house, freaking us out. I was like, for what? Your son? What did he do? It was like, dude, fuck, nothing.
Oh, see, you should have messed with those people. It would have been so funny.
No,
you gotta mess with people.
Yeah.
And you gotta highlight Mike's comment about Golden Girls. That was hilarious.
Golden Barrels. Where's that?
Golden Girls.
Oh, Golden Girls. Where's
Love the Golden Girls.
It's
As
up
there a
there.
lot? As there, I don't see it. You're gonna have to forgive me. Vaping app. Or how far down is it, or up?
Mike Pell said, Biden, hey, this isn't the Golden Girls. Nick said his hair is a mess.
Yeah.
Put a hat on, Nick.
His updo.
Put a
Well,
hat
that's
on.
what I told him. I said, I'm sure you got a hat, or it'll take you 5 minutes to give yourself a haircut.
Dude, I had to like fucking close my eyes to picture Nick. I was like, wait a minute, that fucker got no hair.
Right?
He's Mr. Clean. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry about that one, Nick. I apologize. But he's almost got the tan for fucking Mr. Clean now. But I mean, how long down the road after this process is done? Obviously, after all this process is done, we are going to need an actual lobbyist. This industry will need a lobbyist. When PMTAs are done, when all is set, when the dust has settled, we are going to have someone that represents this whole industry in Washington, or else not that it'd be gone, but it could get to the point where there's just some big dogs left, and the wrong big dogs that we don't want in there, and don't give say Brian an opportunity to start a business down the road. And without a lobbyist, I think we'd be in a lot of trouble as far as future e-liquid companies are concerned, you know.
Right, and that's the big thing. I mean, look at the marijuana industry. Just to enter the marijuana industry, you're looking at a minimum of $2 million in capital.
Yep.
I mean, that's not just to start like a grow facility. That's like dispensary. You know, they make you show proof of capital in a bank account.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to start seeing. I mean, that was the point of the PMTAs and everything. Now, technically speaking, you can't put a new vape product on the market without not only filing a PMTA, but going through the whole process to get it approved. Then you have to wait 90 days. During that 90 days, you have to present your marketing to the FDA. So you already have to have all that done. So you're already going almost 2 years from concept of a product and filing that application to actually being able to put it on the market.
Yep.
Now, that's technically speaking.
Yeah.
Nobody listens to that. Nobody, period.
Yeah.
Nobody listens.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm worried about. And I get it, because, you know, we put this poll question out there and it gets kind of mixed results. And it's the same one. Do you care if Big Tobacco owns a portion of say, your favorite e-liquid company? And does it bother you? And we kind of get a 50-50 kind of thing where I don't care as long as I get it and it's still the same product, or hell no, I don't want nothing to do with Big Tobacco. And then we get a couple that are just like, you know, doesn't bother me. I don't care, you know, just kind of just there. It's, you know, we're happy that we still able to get that product. It's kind of a mixed thing, because I think if we would have asked that question 10 years ago, we would have got a different answer.
Oh, it would have been a resounding fuck no.
Yeah. We could tell you where to go.
Is there a swearing limit on this show?
No, you can fucking
okay, because I was going to say, I think I've crossed that. Like,
I tell Tom to go fuck off at least 20 times during this show. So.
Old man, you step up this way, you walk home limping, sir. Yeah. Bring it.
Yeah, I mean, we go. Yeah,
can we pay-per-view that?
Yeah, we
donate the money to Advocacy.
I have the box. I have the box checked that this is not for children. Yeah, I mean, the duck Puddles is getting in there on that one. Yeah,
wait a minute. I thought we were family friendly.
We're not. We can't. No, it's as soon as the word vaping is added to any title on YouTube, you're automatically not appropriate for children, which is fine.
Good.
That's the way it should be.
Fuck the little crotch goblins.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing, and I like last week. I keep the tobacco-free California. I got to open the chat, but I keep the tobacco-free posts coming up on my newsfeed because I like to see what they're doing, and I rip into them all the time. So, and it's the same thing, it's just like, to me, it's just like, this is the way they word their advertisement is just ridiculous. And I always go on there and question, hey, where are you getting your statistics? When are you guys going to realize that Brian, Tom, you, myself, we're not breaking the law. We didn't break the law. Your child broke the law, or someone that has purchased that product for your son is breaking the law. I didn't break the law. I'm over 21 years old. I can buy this product. Your son and daughter shouldn't have had it in the first place. So your focus should be on the shop, the store, the uncle, or yourself. Because
the person that sold it for the kid, the person that bought it for the kid itself.
Yeah. And it makes me laugh is like, I mean, I'm not wealthy, but if I see an $80 purchase on my credit card from a vape shop and I don't vape, as a parent,
yeah, I'm going to have some questions.
Your son broke the biggest law that you can imagine right there. Your son would go to jail for 5 years for doing that. But you're going to slap him on the wrist and tell him he doesn't know better because he's a child. And I'm sorry, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. But
yet kids can have the mental capacity to know what gender they want to be.
Yeah, exactly. That one makes me laugh. You could do it at 12 now. They say at 12, your son or daughter could decide what gender they are, but they can't decide to, pick up a, pack of cigarettes and all that. They're not smart enough for that yet. I don't care if teens vape.
I do.
I do myself. I do too. And it's kind of, I hate, Matt, I'm going to go there. Don't get mad at me. But if you're 18 and you got those two products to choose from, number one, I do not represent the ZampleBox company, but you have.
These opinions are his and his alone.
And and they do not sell to under 18 anyway. But I'm just saying, if you had those two choices as an 18-year-old, what is the better alternative? For me, if my son is going to do either one or the other, I'm going to probably choose vaping. And that's just, that's it. I'm sorry. If that pisses you off, so be it. It's my child. He's 18. To me, he's an adult. To me, he can go to prison. Mm-hmm. He can go to war. He can officially tell me to go fuck off for once in his life. That's how I look at it. You turn 18, you could tell Pops to shut the hell up, do whatever. You don't have to live under my roof, but you can tell me that stuff. But if he's going to make that choice, knowing what I know as a smoker, I'm going to tell my son, don't go down that road. Don't go down either one of those roads. But if you're going to do this because you want to smoke, then I'm going to tell my son to try vaping. I'm just going to be straight up with it, And I've used vaping to take care of both of my kids' smoking habits. Both of my kids ended up being smokers and smoked for quite some time. And when I got into vaping, I said, this worked. Finally, something after 27 years worked for me. And I said, I got to share this with my kids. And I told my kids, you don't have to buy nothing. I got whatever you need. I'll get you a mod. I'll get you all the e-liquid you need. I started them both at 18 to 24 milligrams and weaned them down. They're both at 3. One's completely quit both. So I'm happy, and it's worked. And that's just me.
I agree 100%. I mean, when you think about it, how early do we start practicing safe sex and using condoms as a form of harm reduction?
Harm reduction.
And while I am a stickler for government and what they say and following the rules on a personal level, if my kid was 13 and I caught them with cigarettes and they actually exuded to me that they have a nicotine addiction, you goddamn right I'm handing them a vape. You goddamn right I'm monitoring it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's it. You bring, that's what I'm getting at, Molly. I mean, it's just, why are we the victims? Why are we the criminals? I don't get that. It's just like we become the criminals. And someone wrote it not too long ago up in the chat a little further up, but this is the first time I've seen people hide the fact that they vape. Mm-hmm. That's never happened in the almost 10 years that I've been doing this. This is the last year and a half is the first time I've actually had people like, no, I don't want anybody to know I'm vaping. Well, one, whatever, that's your choice. Two, remember the days you used to help those they're not doing that no more. They're not saying, hey, they're not approaching the smoker because, everything that's just happened. And I don't know if it's just because of what happened last year and all the other nonsense and what's going on through commercials and the hate for vaping, but it just seems like that's kind of faded out. Do you feel the same way, Matthew? Or
We're all afraid of the metal monster.
For the most part, everything's kind of died out. I mean, we don't have a lot of fear mongering anymore, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, not every news story every single day, thank you, COVID, is about the valley and vaping and how dangerous it is. And I mean, granted, we do have things like this coming out, which this just released the other day. And I had it pre-ordered and it arrived the day it came out, and I'm about to sink my teeth into it a little later this evening. But the PAVE has lost a lot of traction.
Yeah,
even though Bloomberg's funding every single anti-vaping thing out there, it's very rarely even talked about anymore. There are much greater issues, and there always have been.
Yeah.
Just now, it's because Trump's out of office, it's not something that can be weaponized as well as it used to be able to.
Yeah.
And we were kind of innocent bystanders, so to speak, but we are at fault to a certain degree. I mean, we've done a lot of things in this industry to perpetuate youth use and to not exactly help that negative stigma. I mean, I have this conversation all the time with people. If you're 65 years old, do you want to walk into your average vape shop? Probably not.
No.
It's probably got music blasting. It's got the Cloud Bros hanging out. You know, we got to really change our image.
Yeah. Well, that's what I ran into, and I was in my 40s when that happened. That first time I walked into because and when I first started, it was you're gonna laugh, but it was Zigzag. It was the first juice that I found, and their little pen that went from the blue to that. I was like, oh, well, this is cool. I can refill it. You know, I just ran into it in the store, and then a friend of mine said, no, there's a kiosk in the mall. You can get e-liquid there. And that was kind of my, I don't want to say shop because it was in the middle of the fucking mall, but you know, but then I learned that there was a shop, you know, not too far from my house. And that was the feeling I had when I walked into that shop. I was just like, the music is blaring. There's 15 people sitting at some counter that looks like a bar, and they're picking samples and they're just vaping the shit out of all this stuff. And I'm like, I got cash in my hand, but I'm the old man. I'm like, can I please get like a 30 ml bottle of that stuff? It's like, yeah, hold on. Wait, these guys are vaping for free. I'm here with cash in my hand, ready to buy. I think you want to take care of me first. But yeah, that's my feeling. And he ended up being a cousin. So I got a little better service after that.
Nice. No, I mean, thankfully things have died down, and thankfully we've got a lot bigger things going on. And although they're absolutely horrendous things, like, you know, the whole Israel thing and multiple riots now and COVID vaccines, you know, thankfully those have taken the center spotlight and taken the heat off us a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big thing, Andrew. And I get it. I get that thing because I do the same thing now. I've quit smoking. So anytime I see that, do you smoke? I put no, because I don't smoke. Now, if there's a part which is starting to happen, I think a lot of them are starting to add the do you vape thing on there too as well, smoking. But most of the time, you're just going to see the do you smoke? And I always check no. I check no on that. And the reason I love it is because now I'm laughing is because now insurance companies, life insurance companies, they can use that against you for higher premiums because you're a vapor. And it was just 2012 set the whole thing in motion basically. And this is what they wanted. This is a great way for insurance companies to get higher premiums, a great way for hospitals to make more money by trying to get you off of vaping and giving you a fucking patch or some hallucinogenic drug that you got to take who's proven that it hasn't worked and it's driving people insane. And it's a bad thing. I mean, how do you do it, Matt? Oh,
it's one of my favorite things in the world. Just because I know the science behind it, and usually I have some readily accessible, like, actual testing on my phone from a client.
Yeah.
You know, I'll look at the doctor straight in the face and be like, no, actually, I quit a 3-pack a day habit about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
They said, wow. Usually followed up with the magical question of, how'd you quit? Oh, well, I'm a vapor. And they go,
quit.
And they look at me and they're like, well, you know, that's worse if not, or that's bad if not as worse. And I go, no, it's not.
Yeah.
I can prove you wrong right now. Let's have this conversation, please.
Yeah.
I'd live for that shit.
Yeah. I ran into
Doctors
that.
hate it when they're not the smartest people in the room.
I've ran into maybe 3 or 4 that say that have said, "Great job, good job. If that works for you, keep doing it." And then I have run into those same ones that are like, "Well, you didn't change. You're still same habit." I'm like,
We used to have an OB in my old area in New York who would actually push pregnant women towards vaping.
yeah.
Because he knew it was far less harmful, not only to her but to the fetus as well, than traditional smoking. And I thought that was just the coolest thing. Like, I wanted to send this guy edible arrangements and shit. Like, thank you for not being a dumbass, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, that's happened for a while. And I don't know, if I don't know where do you guys put that line, that age? I mean, I started young. I was 14, whatever, when I well, everyone kind of knows I stole my first cigarette from a priest. So I'm going to hell for that one. So
That's awesome.
So as an altar boy. Yeah. So, and actually I was 11, 12. That was 11 or 12 when I stole that first cigarette. So, and I smoked it and I was just like, God, this isn't for me. This isn't for me. But, it was a Pall Mall, non-filter, and the priest just left them everywhere. It was like he was enticing us to smoke cigarettes. He had a pack of Pall Malls on the altar. He had one over by the wine. He had one over here by the, they were everywhere. And I was like, all right, well, let's try this. So a bunch of us took a couple and, went up and smoked it. But where do you draw the line as a parent and you say, okay, I'm going to supervise this? I guess I don't know if this is a good question to ask on this show.
I would say 16.
16.
Yep.
I mean, it's with adult supervision. And that's the thing. That's the thing that has to be part of our problem, though, because I think that comes back to us as well. Don't you think? It's just like, are those the same parents that are bitching that their kids are addicted to nicotine because they started at 16? Those seem to be those parents is where I'm trying to get at, though.
Well, those parents can just go kick fresh cow patties barefoot.
Not everybody has fresh cow patties like you do.
Those are realistically real parents. I'll say that much. Those are usually obnoxiously rich, hoity-toity fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Who aren't dealing with real-world issues with their kids. Maybe Chad gets a DWI during prom or something, and they just pay to make it go away because they're friends with a local sheriff. But real world, they don't know. Kids little as 10, 11 are drug addicts and getting pregnant, and they're not dealing with the real world. So it's like us. Well, we're parents. We have children in the real world, and we deal with these things. So it's like, I don't know. If it was an honest-to-God nicotine addiction, I wouldn't put an age on it, with the exception of like under 10. I'd probably just whoop their ass and call it a day.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how old your kids are. I mean, we tried really hard to make sure that none of the 3 of our children smoked, but it's virtually impossible. Everybody knows it as a parent. There's peer pressure, there's their friends, there's all this stuff that comes into it. I mean, me and my ex-wife, we never left cigarettes laying around, never left them on the coffee table. We always had them in our pockets. Did we smoke in front of them? Kinda, not often. Do we smoke with them in the car? No, we never smoked with them in the car. We never smoked in the house. They knew we both smoked, but we never, like I said, we didn't lay them around, and they never got cigarettes from me. So I don't know where they got their cigarettes from. And I know they didn't get them from my ex-wife, but they're going to do it. They're going to do it. No matter how hard you try to be the perfect parent, your kids are going to find a way to do something. They're going to find a way to get whatever they need always.
Mm-hmm. Kids are crafty little bastards.
And a lot more than I'd say, I'm going to say it. This generation is way more craftier than my fucking generation. And I'll be honest, and I don't know if it's parenting skills or whatever today, but the fear that I had as a child, knowing that my dad knew that I smoked, terrified me. I mean, to the point where I hid it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
These kids,
they give no fucks.
I smoke. You're going to buy me a pack of cigarettes, Mom. Okay.
My dad caught me smoking. He'd bust my ass with a belt.
Yeah, I mean, I feared my parents, and I don't think they have that anymore. I really don't think they fear their parents. I swear to God.
No, because we don't have enough parents whooping the shit out of their children anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick side note, Brian, you okay? You're getting kind of.
You're fading in and out.
Pissy in chat here, sir.
So here's the thing: is I was in chat talking. There was a few people, and Mike's one of them, a little bit. And there's somebody that put in the chat that apparently Jay Hayes is now asking people to pay him money on his channel so he can do reviews. And I actually checked this out, and sure enough, there is. There's actually a little join button on his YouTube, and you can subscribe for $3 a month, $5 a month, $25 a month, $50 a month, or $100 a month, so he can keep doing his reviews.
His Patreon account.
Yeah, no, his YouTube. No, it's on his YouTube.
Oh, it's
and
not
it's
part of the
access to his Patreon, but it's
a membership thing.
Yeah, VIP early access. Like there's extra stuff in there. I'm like, okay, so here's the deal. Okay, if you're gonna be reviewing, like there's other reviewers out there. You got Rip Trippers. You kind of left and came back.
Mike Vapes.
Yeah, Mike Vapes. You got Grim Green. You got all sorts of other people. Like Yosh did YouTube stuff for a while. I liked watching his stuff. But here's the thing: is that if you're gonna sit here and do YouTube videos, do YouTube reviews, and you want to keep going, Jay has had a shop. He's not buying that stuff at full price. He's actually buying that stuff at wholesale price, if not less than that, whatever. And then he's doing the reviews on them. If he's buying these products that are like these ungodly amounts of money, he's using them once. What's he doing with them then? I guarantee he's selling them to people. So he's not losing money. Like he maybe lose $5 out the deal.
But that's the product that he's not destroying in the video.
Absolutely. If he destroys a smock product, then what have you? It's not going to be super expensive. I mean, crap. I mean, there's some mods I have that I want to destroy too, but I'm not going to do it. But yeah, if they're super cheap, sure, why not? I've seen people do it with jewels. But the thing is, with Jay Hayes is that if he's asking his reviewers to give him money, to me, you're not for the industry. You're for it just to make money. He's had his name on devices. He's getting royalties from all that stuff that are still out there, whether it's teetering down or not or what have you. He's still making money from that. He's making money from his shots, making money from YouTube now. Yeah. He's not for the industry. I'm going to say that out loud. I don't care.
He's not making any more money off of YouTube. That's why he's doing this. He's not. He's been
demonetized. Yeah, absolutely. But he's not making as much. But that's great.
No, he's making zero, Brian. He's making zero.
It's that he's not making enough on YouTube. Well, if he's configuring his YouTube into his account for making money and stuff, you're doing your business all wrong. Because YouTube's not a stable income until the fact that you're doing something like gaming or cosmetic reviews or what have you, that you can actually monitor how that's going. This industry is too unstable to have that YouTube channel, to actually use that YouTube channel as a sign of income.
Right.
You look like Green, who's lost a lot of money doing this stuff, but he still does it. Yeah, he gets frustrated. We all do. But it's just a nerve that hits me.
But do you think that this YouTube is Grim Green's only source of income?
Oh, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. I mean, he's got all of his different devices. I'm pretty sure he's got other stuff on the side too.
Yeah,
that we don't
he
even
has
know
other
about.
streams of income.
All right. Well, then
YouTube is just a part of it. Whereas with Jay, he wants.
John doesn't want to work anymore, so I'm going to start a GoFundMe program so you guys can keep me.
Hey, if we had a join button with a little monthly whatever, we would just use that for vape reviews, and then we would give them away. As
a video guy, photographer, I understand that there is a lot of time that goes into even just doing a 10-minute video, and that time is worth something, and I get that. So I'm not gonna shit. You shouldn't be doing that, because there is some value for your time. You have to have a little bit of value for your time. So, but is a 10-minute video, probably editing, all that other nonsense, is probably 2 to 3 hours of his day that goes into prepping and getting that video, prepping the video, getting it prepped, getting it ready, editing it, getting it back up and uploaded to YouTube. But you know what? You're right, Brian, because I mean, that in the beginning, when all these guys started, it wasn't about making money. It was about sharing the knowledge of these products and helping people make a better decision on whether or not to buy this product. And I think a lot of that is gone. And I think a lot of that started with the companies. Instead of, I mean, I like the idea that vape companies started listening to vape reviewers. The part that I don't like is joining forces with the vape reviewers and starting to put their names on products. And I think that's where the shit kind of hit the fan. And, they should have, the reviewer should have said, I don't want my name on this product, but you can say, I don't know what's the proper word to use here, helped or designed or whatever.
By.
Or you can pay
or
me
in partnership
pay
with.
pay me to be I forget the word now, man, my mind just shut off completely, where you help somebody design a product. I don't know what you call it. I forget the name. Collaborate and leave it at that. But putting Mike Vapes, this product, we didn't need that. We didn't need that. You should have said, pay me a fee to be that person to help you make a better product, and then leave it at that. That's where it should have stopped. And I don't feel, I'm not upset. That's corporate America. I mean, that's capitalism. Make your money. And I'm never going to shit on capitalism. That's not me. But I don't know. It kind of hurt a little bit, because I don't know, it just kind of started that little fight too. Oh, well, this product's, but we've seen them in the reviews. We've seen the attacks on each other while they were reviewing each other's products. And I was just like, oh, here we go. That's when I knew this shit was going to kind of hit the fan. It's like
the best one was the drop versus the dead rabbit.
Yeah, it was. That was the one I was going to go to.
Right. Well, the thing is though, like with the reviewers, like I get that, like say like take Grim for instance, like he used to do like once a day, like whatever video it was, and he said it would take him all day, and it would take him like 8 hours editing, like set up 8 hours and the editing and all that stuff to produce that one video. Now what he turned it into is more of a live show than anything else. Like he just does everything on the live and just be done with it, which is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I get the time side. I get like putting effort into it. Like John, those too. There's effort into putting in shows.
Yeah,
and all that stuff too.
It takes us time to put this show together.
Yeah,
I mean, look at it takes hours just for Tom to look the way he does.
Right?
Can you imagine?
It's hard getting this handsome.
Well, I mean, even longer for Nick. I mean, he still hasn't shown up yet,
right?
But
he's growing the hair. He's growing the hair.
But I mean, like I understand that there's time into things. But I mean, if as a hobby side, like I did this as a hobby, like I would help people on the offside, like after work, and help them. And I'm not asking them for money. For me, it was more like I want to make sure that you're being helped with your devices. You're being helped with building. You're being helped with this. Like to me, like I want, like in my side, I want to try to help do what I can to keep the industry moving. And if we all had that sort of mentality and not like really, demand the money from it, it could have probably also helped us too in the long run. It just, it sucks for people trying to beg for money for stuff. Like it just, I get this time, but this also started as a hobby thing too.
Yeah. Let me answer that one, but this one first. He did that to himself.
Yep. Absolutely.
He did that to himself. And that's where he kind of made the mistake. Instead of just reviewing the product and not doing come on, guys, let's be realistic. He did a lot of that nonsense to draw viewers to his channel.
Yep.
The running shit over, the busting it, breaking it, blowing it up, all this nonsense. I mean, all right, 1, 2, 3, right here, you three. How much do you give a shit if what a product looks like in the inside when you paid $30 for it?
Don't care.
Usually none, because you're not going to see it.
Okay,
Right.
Pointing out a little bit of dust in a fucking $30 RDA is a little too far.
Yeah.
Now, if he pulls a Hadley out and, this is $100 RDA, when I get that $150 RDA, yeah, I expect that fucker not to have any machine oil on it or have some bad threading but we're talking about a $30 RDA from China and going that for, to draw, was he doing it for entertainment purposes? Of course he was. We're not stupid. I know he was. He's trying to draw viewers to, that's what made him such a lovable character, because he was no longer Jay Hayes. He was Jay Hayes, that character. And that character, when that light went on, Jay Hayes would turn into this different person, critiquing $30 fucking RDAs and 10, $25 mods. I'm like, give me a freaking break, dude. That $30 RDA was remanufactured 150,000 freaking times. There's going to be, every company has a 1% defect rate, period. I don't care.
No, Michael, we're not saying that you can't have good quality control. It's just,
you got to have
control is not going to be the same as it is on something you spend
you're not
$100 for.
Oh, you could take, for instance, let's go all the way back to the beginning here. God damn it. What was the name of the RDA? The one that everybody, there only were 10, only 10,000 of these made, but unfortunately, 1 million somehow ended up on the market. What was the name of that one that screwed up? God damn it.
Oh, the Velocity?
The Velocity is a perfect example. Do you expect 10,000 to have the same quality control as something that is made in the 150,000 range? And that's a perfect example. You had 10,000 of those RDAs were made officially, right?
Yep.
That was only 10,000 of these, but somehow there was 2.5 million of these out there because of tobacco and who were the other companies?
The one-to-one clones.
Yeah, the one-to-one clones. And people started going after the real ones because they thought, the fake ones were the real ones, and people were like, this is shitty. They were getting screwed over. Yep. But the quality control that you're going to get from a machine shop, an actual machine shop that were making those products at 10,000 is going to be a lot different than the quality control that you're going to get from China that's producing 100,000 of them.
Yep.
In a day.
Well, I mean,
in one day.
Right. I mean, if you take back in the day, I mean, Salter and John, you guys probably know about this. You go to shows and you could buy a mod for $800 or more. Like I've seen a blocks of stab would go for 10 grand, and when you get that mod, are you going to look that mod over because you paid that much money? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but this one here, I'm not going to bust it open and see how the internals are.
Yeah, exactly.
That
right. If I spend money, even if I spend $20 on a mod, I want it to fucking work. I don't want to.
That's all I care.
Yeah, I want it to work.
That's all I care about.
So I'm not smoking.
Right.
I did say goodbye say goodnight to your daughter.
Oh yeah.
I do. We talked about it. Me and Brian talked about. We want to do a collector show. So anybody that's watching that is a collector, we'd love for you guys to jump on because that's a whole different breed of us. I mean, I've seen them at shows. Brian has seen them in shows. These guys carry briefcases, and there's 15 to 20 grand worth of stuff in each one of these briefcases. So I'd love to do a collector show. So I'll put it out there on our fan page. So if you're one of those crazy motherfuckers,
I've got a few. I don't have certain people have. I only have I won certain mods, and then that was that. As soon as I realized this could be way more different story, I'm like, I'm just gonna stop because that amount of money I'm spending on a mod, I could be spending on a gun. So that's kind of why I quit.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I have buddies that chasing those low numbers, or looking for that one mod that was only 20 of them made, and it's just AV started that. I mean, they pretty much started that whole nonsense. AV mods, is that who it was? There's AV mods, the mech mods.
Yeah, the two mods, AV.
Yeah, they kind of started the whole fucking collecting thing, and it was like all of a sudden I was like, dude, you want how much? He goes, yeah, I want at least $1,500 for this 2 mod. I was like,
no,
dude, you know how many things I could buy for $1,500?
Right?
It ain't gonna be a 2 mod.
Didn't Glass come out with their first mod a long time ago, and then everyone wanted that mod so bad, and that one was almost $2 grand for that 2 mod.
I have 4 of them kicking around somewhere.
Yeah, and Peter, you're right, Peter.
I should probably send you my address because I have a shelf that doesn't have one.
Yeah.
So we got dumb lucky, and when we opened one of our stores up in New York, in the back room was this literal tote full of old collector mods, like mech mods. I mean, like the all the ZFO stuff, just dozens upon dozens of them.
Yeah. Yes, you're correct, Peter. A lot of times that is true. The same factory that produced the authentic is also producing the clone.
Yeah, just the clones are going out the back door.
There's a lot of that happening. Well, I mean, and there was a lot of tobacco's a prime example of it. I mean, they were making clones for a long time, and then they realized, well, wait a minute here, we can do this. Put our name on it. Let's get Hell Vape. All these. I mean, they're all
become like Hell Vape or Geek Vape. Or
there's a lot of companies that have done that plenty of times. They've got cheaper peak insulators. They're using cheaper screws. They're using cheaper materials, and they just, hey, we already got the machines running.
Wasn't Tofu like a clone company before they came out with their own mods?
Who?
I think so.
Well,
Tofu.
Yeah, but Tofu was a clone company as well.
Mike, there is no entrance fee to see the collector show.
Yeah.
Unlike other YouTubers, we don't charge for you to be here.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah. Let's not get in. I don't want to get into that whole thing. Look, if you want to pay to watch that, feel free. If it keeps you interested in the industry and those products, because you are going to get you're going to get a different type of product. I think he's not doing the smock stuff anymore, or he's not doing the lower end stuff. I think he's been actually been reviewing higher end stuff. Is that true? I don't watch Mike Vapes. I mean, not Mike Vapes. I don't watch Jay Hayes. So I haven't watched the Jay Hayes video in I don't know how long.
Well, if I just go back on a few videos, Geek Vape, you will.
Oh, I ain't paying for that.
And then there's one more. This is what he's doing reviews on. Just putting it out there. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not paying for a Geek Vape video. I'm not paying for a Geek Vape review. I'm sorry. I'm going to get whatever I get from Geek Vape. I know what it is. So, yeah. Let's get back to the topic.
Sorry, it was a side round. It was just irritating me. I had to say something.
We went right away from it. Does that? YouTube reviewers will do that to us.
Hey, this show's all about getting up on your soapbox.
Yeah,
Brian got up on his soapbox.
Yeah, that's true. Brian got up on the box.
I brought it back.
We got up on the box and we ate the soap. So let's get back to that. And if you guys have some questions, Matthews is the perfect guy to ask. He's been in the industry a long time. He's helping a lot of companies stay in business. So he's got a great idea of what it's going to take for us to keep going forward. So if you have any questions on or ideas that you think need to happen within the next, 6 months, a year, 2 years down the road, throw them out there. We love to hear them. But let's get back to, I do think we need a lobbyist, a lobbyist group. Let's not one lobbyist. We need a lobbyist group that is, how do I put this? That is the vaping industry. It doesn't have nothing to do with tobacco. It is about this industry and this industry alone. And it represents us, not just us, but
the consumers, the
and,
shops. The industry
question, John.
The business side and the consumer side.
You're gonna have to. What's that? What is
Here's
that?
a question: if you were able to nominate somebody from the industry to be our lobbyist, who would you pick and why?
Conley, because he's already a lawyer.
That man has taken his dick to the dirt for this industry more times than I can count.
Yeah,
and he is smart as a whip.
Yep.
And he will not fear to put anybody in their place. If you watch his news interviews when Valley started kicking off, they were some of the best goddamn vaping interviews I ever had.
Yeah, we talked about those the last time he was on.
I would pick Salter. Just because that would be fun to watch.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell every single politician to go fuck themselves. I'm
exactly
fucking retarded. I've constantly said that if I ever got the opportunity to have a sit-down meeting with the FDA, I will be booted out in the first 5 minutes. Because I'm going to look at them. Are you completely retarded, or is this just from years of governmental work?
Here's who I would pick for lobbyists: Conley, Lindsey Stroud, Matthew Salter.
Yeah, those are perfect.
I'm down for Stroud to be in there.
There's 3 perfect people to represent this company.
Lindsay would be a firecracker for sure.
I know.
I would actually
make them all a cocktail afterwards.
Right. I would actually like to put Skip in there too, so we'd have the person who's tugs the heartstrings. Those 4 right there.
Skip is an absolute fucking animal.
Yeah. I would. Those 4 right there, I would put in the mix in a heartbeat. Absolutely, yes.
They need that, and they need support. That's the thing, and voices, and we need to have some voices, and that's what I'm trying to get. We need to get back to that, guys. Don't be afraid to talk about vaping. Don't hide that you're vaping. Don't blow your vape into your fucking jacket because you're trying to hide it from the other guy. Knock that shit off. Be proud that you're vaping. Be proud that you're not smoking, and keep sending positive vibes out there. And we need that. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to that. We know this product works, and we know this, and I've stressed that over and over again. The first people that we need to convince that this product works for us is the people that see us every day, and that's our families. And if we can get our family, I know not everybody has that family support. I had to go through it with my mom's like, you're just doing the same thing. No, Mom, I'm not doing the same thing. And explaining to her, explaining to my aunt, who is a nurse, has been a registered nurse for 35 years. She was the hardest one to convince, but she saw it right away. She goes, your skin looks better, John. Your eyes are, I didn't have all that, that smoker's bag eyes, brownness. She goes, you're hiking, you're exercising, you're not winded just from walking to the mailbox, and back into the house. So she saw it right away. And, if my aunt, who's been a nurse for 35 years, can see that, these other people need to see that. If we go to the doctors, that doctors, hopefully we all go to the doctors more than once or twice. I know not all of us go to the doctor, but if you're a smoker for 20 years and you've been seeing, if you're lucky like I am, have you had the same doctor for the last 25 years, that motherfucker should know you.
You would think.
You would think he should be able to see firsthand the transition that you have made from smoking to vaping. And that's what blows me away. It's like those are the people that we need to convince. Those people will talk to other people. No, like my mom, she did it to another person. She goes, oh, your son's vaping. Oh, that's good. My son vapes. It's good for you. And she was able to, as hard it is with her Italian accent, she actually got, that person to know that it was good. It was safe for what he was doing, that he was vaping, and it's not going to kill him. It's not, so, I mean, we got to start at home is where I'm getting. And I think if you can convince those people and let them understand that it is better, I think it gets easier as you move along to, say, your coworkers or other people that you run into on a daily basis, and it gets easier. And Matthew, I mean, the resources are there. What is that? Don't hate me, Brian, but what's the name of that website?
THR101.org.
Thank you.
I'm don't know at the bookmark of it.
I don't know why I can't remember that. I can't remember that website, but that's a great place for you guys to go and get your information that you need. Have that in your back pocket. Be ready to answer back those questions that people are going to throw. It's the same ones. Am I right, Matthew? It's the same responses back that we get. It doesn't change. It could be your aunt, uncle. It never has changed. You're always going to get the same answer back from that person. And if you got that, it's that saying, you got that bullet in your gun. I don't know what it is, but have that bullet ready to go and fire back, because I know I'm funny, Peter. I don't know if you're talking to me, but I get really passionate, and when I do, I get a little, my heart starts racing, I get a little upset, and then I kind of forget my words. So that's why, like I said, I can never be anyone important in this industry, because I'll just get all fucking flustered. And I'm probably like you, Matt. Within 10 seconds, I tell them to go fuck off. So I was a truck driver for 25 years. That's all I did was say, go fuck off.
Yeah, but Matthew might offer some brisket or something afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I could probably tell you to go fuck off and then maybe have a beer with you later. I mean, that's
maybe.
I don't really understand it. It's like they have the perfect ability to not fuck this up. They went through it with big tobacco. Look what happened.
Yeah.
I can't tell you a single vape company that wouldn't be more than happy to pay a little bit of tax to give the government their cut to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And big tobacco does that in the form of user fees. And it actually kind of resurfaced today. Trump once upon a time floated the idea of adding us to user fees.
Yeah.
But the way user fees work is it goes by your market share. So Juul would have literally ended up paying 97% of fucking user fees. Yeah. And, we would have been treated more like the craft beer industry, where we had guidelines to follow. We could do things a certain way. And as long as we didn't step outside of that lane, we were fine.
Yeah.
The second we tried to become Budweiser, we'd be slapped around and sent back home.
Yeah.
And that's why craft beer is taking off.
That was the problem. Everybody didn't want any safety and standards. Everybody was just doing their thing, and it was the wild west. I mean, I read that thing where what was it a couple of weeks ago, and there was a certain year that every month during that year there were 10 to 15 new e-liquid companies name new ones, 10 to 15 every month for that whole year. Just went crazy. It went crazy, and there was no standards. Yep. We made the standards as the consumers. That was our standards were made from social media. Hey, that shit, there was fucking mosquitoes in it. Gone. That company was gone. That was our standards of practice and standards. It was us. And I get why some people wanted to keep it that way, but it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna work with just us standardizing ourselves, and protecting each other by saying, well, I found a mosquito in there. I took pictures, and this guy's making shit in his bathtub, and look at his area. I mean, is that what it sound about right, Matthew? We were our standards in practice. That's what we were.
Right. I mean, we're creamies with fucking Tyvek in the basement and the open shitter where the dude was mixing e-liquid. Like, so that was the standard back then. And
the homemade shower right next to it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to get into names. We won't get into names. We won't get into names. But
okay, one company that started with an A that was just, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean that was a thing, and we protected each other, and that was that worked for a while. But that was when it was, maybe I don't know, maybe $1 million and a half, maybe $500 million industry. We're not that anymore, guys. We're not that. We're one of the biggest industries right now that's going on. That's why people are taking notice, and that's why everyone's getting involved. And I say it all the time on every goddamn podcast. This was a product that was praised by fucking everyone 12 years ago, 10 years ago when Blue came out. It was on the Phil Donahue show. Phil Donahue was like, this is the most amazing thing ever created. Finally, there's a product that's going to help people quit smoking. We went from that.
Celebrity endorsements for Blue.
Yes. We went from that to where we are today. Oh, this stuff will kill you. It's just the worst thing ever. Yeah, Matt. I see you.
Like Matthew said before, it's time for the industry to grow the hell up.
Grow up.
Even celebrities are really quiet about their vaping.
Yeah, it's the cancel culture, Matthew.
Oh, it definitely is.
You vape.
Fucked up part is most of the cancel culture vapes.
Yeah. It does. That's true. I didn't even think about that, but you hit it right on the head right there. Probably like 80% of them vape.
Right. It's the whole thing amazes me. I'm not surprised. Every day I wake up, my 2 feet hit the floor. I'm like, what type of fuckery is going to happen today?
Yeah. And then you look at your phone and be like, okay, that kind of fuckery.
Not even surprised anymore.
I don't have to worry about that celebrity anymore. He just fucked himself.
It's like I remember when the chick from Game of Thrones, they took a picture of her on set vaping a Juul.
Yeah.
And the fucking World War IX that went on with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous for a while.
Yeah, the only guy that got away with it and nobody gave him any shit was David Chappelle. David Chappelle did his whole fucking show with a Juul and nobody said anything. No one said cancel Chappelle. No one said, oh, Chappelle vapes. That's great. No, it was just like it didn't fucking happen. Like, nobody saw that. I mean, Netflix didn't even try to hide it. It was just like, there's that light.
No, even in American Horror Story, one of the witch ones, she was vaping in the whole fucking series, and they just let it happen, no problem.
Yeah, well, he does smoke. He smokes too, but I think I think he did it because he can't smoke on stage anymore, and he thought he could vape on stage and get away with it. Nobody would say anything, but obviously he was right because nobody said anything. It didn't like, oh, Dave Chappelle's, he's smoking, he's vaping on stage. Nobody said anything. Nobody understands. There was no. I mean, come on, but let's be serious. If somebody that was sitting in the front row was upset by him vaping, we would have known about it because
Mhm.
everybody loves to tweet. And somebody in that front stage would have tweeted, I can't believe that he was vaping on his set. We didn't see any of that. It's like it didn't even fucking happen. It's like nobody said anything. David Chappelle he got away with murder, I think, right now, and nobody would say anything to him. Well, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Are you ready to do advocacy? Everybody,
I can do some things. I can read some things.
Tim is not gonna say Tim
no
is no longer here.
Boy, that was fast, John. I didn't think we'd get rid of him that fast. Wow.
That's what he gets for going on vacation.
Son of a bitch.
Wow. You wait till he comes back next week. You better hope you don't see this because he'll have words for you whacking him.
Yeah, he's not coming back now, definitely. Like he won't be back.
No. Tim's on vacation, so Brian is going to jump in and fill his shoes. Brian, are you ready for this? I don't know.
Sure, I'm ready.
Do I play your bumper or do I play the news bumper?
Well, what you should have done is taken his bumper, put a line through it, put Brian on the bottom with just red Sharpie.
I'm good. I'm good, but I'm not that good. But Tom, what were you going to say?
That's not helping me.
Do you have something to tap?
Yeah,
you got to have the tap.
You got to have papers. We talked about this. We talked about it. You got to tap.
I have something I can tap. I don't know how long it's going to be, but
yeah, I don't want to. Nobody needs to see that. Not on a live broadcast. But I'm going to go just because shits and giggles because I don't get to use your bumper that often unless you start pulling stats out. So I'm going to use your bumper. Ready?
Yeah. If you pull out that duck, you're going to get shot.
No duck.
Nuclear reaction with the flux capacitor. Carry the two, changing its atomic isotoner into a radioactive spider. Fuck you, science.
Fuck you,
science.
I
don't know how loud this is going to be, but we'll have to see how this happens here.
All right. There it is. Yeah, baby. Tap that.
Some sort of tapping going on.
I didn't see the papers, but that'll work.
These are actually stickers and actually stuff from my ZampleBox.
Dun, dun, dun. Oh, yeah. We need to talk to ZampleBox. You got to cut those stickers down, man. It's a lot.
I like the stickers. I know. I actually like stickers. I actually have an envelope. So like in the companies I used to like deal with and stuff, they'd send me stickers. Matt kind of probably knows about this a little bit. Yeah. I would actually save all these stickers. I wouldn't use them. I would save them. I actually have an envelope full of them now, so it's pretty nice. Now they'll be collectibles. And
which one are you going to do first, Brian? So I can put the. You doing the candy one?
I'm going to do the candy one first. Absolutely.
All right, I got the link. So go ahead, knock yourself out, brother.
Sure. Right. Let me see if I need to be zoomed in here a bit. Boop, 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 boop. All right.
If you guys want to read the full article, I have posted the links to the article in chat. And I will do it on Facebook. Go ahead, Brian.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
You're
so
welcome,
on this one, I kind of going through some articles and stuff like that, and this one seemed prevalent to me, like from our perspective, because the fact that we've already gone through something like this, we've dealt with stuff like this, and now like the weed companies are actually dealing with this too. What they're doing is they're using labeling on their stuff now. They're and so different anti-weed people are pretty much saying like, hey, you shouldn't do this because it entices kids, and it's a sad thing, but I mean, if they were doing it like we went through, there's going to be repercussions, and this is kind of one of them. I mean, if you kind of look like this here, right here.
That's
kind of
ridiculous.
An example.
That is just fucking ridiculous.
This is how close they're actually getting with this. And here's the deal with this. Like, I understand that there's medical reasons for things. I understand that, it can help people. Sure. However, if your kid's at a gas station and these are sitting side by side and they want Starburst, they're not going to sit there and read the package. All right. So here's the deal. Knock it off.
That is ridiculous.
Tom could probably say it too. Knock it off. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous.
Fucking dumb.
Yes, I agree. So I mean that's what this one kind of really pertains to. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, really read them, but that's the whole gist of it. Is like even states in here how like in 2020 a 5 and 11-year-old were hospitalized after eating medicated nerd rope, mistakenly distributed. Okay, I mean that that's what can happen if we're not careful, or if, they're not careful, I should say. I mean, we've kind of gone through this already. But I mean, even in the article, it states that how like the vape companies were actually dealing with this already, and why like it's still going on. That's the issue with it. I mean,
is that really the Skittles packaging with the weed in it, or is just something someone put together?
it's just clip art together.
Oh, okay.
That's
gonna say that's fucked up shit. Right
hey,
there.
Listen, who knows what people store their things on their own time? I get it, but maybe they thought if they just put their nug inside like the Skittles package, it would actually flavor it. I'm doubting it, but who knows? People are weird. But I mean, that's what this one comes down to.
The cannabis burst, that was fucking hilarious. I mean, the creative name, but they could have just did anything else with that packaging. Dude. Come on.
Right? I mean, even right here, it clearly states that like in 2018, FDA went after vaping and e-cigarettes for packaging like this.
Yeah. In
the article itself. So I mean, we've gone through that, and if we can help them out, I'd love to do that, but I'm doubting it. I mean, here's the whole deal. Read the article, judge for yourself. I guarantee you're going to be like, really? Why are you doing this? Knock it off. Yeah. Because what's going to happen is these little articles are going to come and bite you in the ass, and it's not going to be pretty.
So, okay, let's bring. We've gone through this with e-liquids, but when are they going to start going after? Well, I guess it's harder to go after a Chinese company if they're like we had. Remember, we had the Iron Man mod that looked like Iron Man,
or the Game Boy mod.
The Captain America mod that looked just like. I mean, I know it's hard because the way China's laws are designed, you would have to go get. I guess you can't bring a lawyer in there. You have to hire a lawyer from China to fight a company in China. So it takes a lot of money. But we're talking Hollywood. Hollywood's got money, but is there no fight over that, or is that because that's still continuing? I still think I seen a mod not too long ago that was based on a Hollywood character.
There is and there isn't. I mean, thankfully, we've really rooted a lot of those guys out of the industry, and I think we've had enough pressure put on us by the government that people finally fucking wisened up. I mean, that's all we did as the Legion was A, fight shitty juice mixing conditions, and B, fight child labeling package and IP theft, just like this. The biggest difference between us and the cannabis industry is the big cannabis guys won't fucking play around about this. Yeah. They fought for too long, too hard, spent way too much money to let guys like these. Dude, they won't let them off easy. They will legit show up at their doorstep with a baseball bat and break some knees.
Yeah.
They do not play around with this.
Well, that's the thing is that like with THC becoming and CBD becoming super popular nowadays, and how fast that industry has actually grown into itself, the issue is that they're going to run into is the same thing that we just ran through is people starting up shops and people trying to do what they ever want to do to have their own packages and have it shipped out because they think it's cool. They think that they can do it, and when they have no clue exactly how the repercussions of anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they do it because of the almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, Daniel. It's hard. I mean that battle, we've been fighting that battle forever with alcohol. Alcohol gets away with it. They get away with flavors. They get away with it all. Does it have to do because it's socially accepted? That's a big part of it. I mean, it is socially accepted, but there has to be. I don't know. Where did I see that article with the ice cream? Where's the one with the ice cream that was with regular ice cream, but it had like shit ton of alcohol in it? I think it was just a couple months ago, right? And it was in the same aisle.
Wasn't that New York that actually had that? There's an alcohol ice cream that was being served.
Oh yeah, we had wine ice cream all over the place.
Yeah. And I mean, they don't even put it anywhere. It's in the same aisle as the ice cream. Now, I don't know what the alcohol content is on that ice cream. Can it affect a child? I'm sure it can.
Yeah, usually around 5-6%. Like it ain't a little bit. It's about typically your beer.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. That debate has gone on forever with, e-liquid getting in trouble for flavors, saying we're selling to kids. And then 2 weeks later, we see margarita fucking slushies for adults.
Well, that's the biggest thing. The alcohol industry has so much more money than we could ever fucking dream of having, and they have lobbied, and they have literally bought their way to being able to do these things. And something big to remember is, where is alcohol sold? Alcohol is sold in age-restricted locations.
Yeah.
Now, granted, if you walk into a gas station, chances are you're going to see some alcohol. 99% of gas stations now have beer caves where you have to present your ID to even be let in.
Yeah.
So it's not just out in the open. I mean, there are still a few fringe stores that I've seen that out in the open. Down here in Florida, fucking Walmart sells liquor.
Yeah, we have full liquor. I mean, I
have
mean,
drive-through liquor stores. That blew my mind.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got places like Pennsylvania and Philadelphia where you got to go into a liquor store to buy hard liquor. You can buy a bottle of wine and beer
Right.
at like Save Mart and stuff or supermarket, but hard liquor you have to go to a liquor store to get it. I think that would make, but I don't want that. I guess we have that, right? It's called a vape shop.
Exactly. We have vape shops where usually you have to present an ID to walk in the door and have a conversation.
Yeah, I guess we have that. I was going to go in the whole ramp about it, but I thought about it there. It hit me, guys. I'm old, but it hit me. Yeah, they're called vape shops. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's that one. I mean, I get it. Like, I understand, like, people want to do the packaging, but at the same time, like, Matthew was saying, like, you have to go in age restricted places to get things nowadays. But the CBD industry, to me, like, I've seen it all over in gas stations, and like, it's really available anywhere. Especially the gummies are sitting like right at the counter. I mean, to me, it's like I'm worried that's going to cause more of an issue later on than
that's causing the current war with Delta 8.
Yeah, Delta 8.
I don't know if one of your news stories is about Delta 8, but within this last week, we've seen five different states introduce bills to ban Delta 8 that are legal Delta 9 THC.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of fucking mind blowing. Like,
Yeah,
it's legal to smoke pot, but you can't use one of its isomer derivatives.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that, like, lawmakers are going to try to create laws because they think one thing is superly bad when openly, like, you can do other things and screw up your life way more.
Yeah. He moved because he wanted to be closer to Nick Orlando.
That's what I tell everyone. I wanted to join a winning team. If you know anything about the New York advocacy scene, it's a fucking shit show.
Yeah.
It is hot fucking horse garbage. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
They didn't ask why, they asked where.
Oh, I moved to Pensacola. So, as Nick Orlando would say, I don't live in Florida. I live in southern Alabama.
Southern Alabama.
Nick never lets me forget that.
He came for the fishing and the golf. And alligator fighting, alligator wrestling.
I'm so sad. Alligators don't exist where I live. They're actually about 90 miles away from me.
You're lucky. I don't think I want to wake up to go outside to my house to go get my mail and have to dodge a bunch of alligators to get it.
So I have a 150-pound pit bull mastiff bulldog mix. And he has already taken out a 5-point buck in New York without a single scratch to him. Most recently down here, he's taken out a turtle. So
Yeah.
I'm, as much as I don't condone animal violence whatsoever, my dog, for whatever reason, has a set of balls to prove.
Yeah.
And I want to see who wins between him and a gator. Like,
Just for shits and giggles.
do I got new boots or do I got to get a new dog? Like,
Should probably talk to Nick and set that up.
Yeah.
Next article, Brian.
All right.
You're getting sidetracked.
So, right.
Are you doing the San Francisco one, brother?
Yeah, this one right here.
Okay. All right. So
That was a good one.
I kind of stumbled upon this one. Actually, it's kind of funny in the ZampleBox group. Somebody else actually put this article up today and actually had it in the feed before they put it up. So whoever's paying attention, congrats. Congrats, whoever's paying attention. That's pretty awesome of you.
Yeah.
I give you a 1-up on that one.
Yep, that would have been Ember.
Awesome. But basically, like, what this one basically just kind of states is throughout the whole thing, it's pretty long, but what it comes down to is that they're finding out that more teens are going to smoking versus, not. I mean, here's the thing. And, like, you have e-cigarettes and, you have the ability to, have people get off smoking with e-cigarettes. Like, that's truly a thing for those who don't know. But now, if you have 18-year-olds who are just becoming 18-year-olds and they end up trying cigarettes now instead, well, then they're going to be addicted to cigarettes. Like, that's just what it is. I mean, you 100% of them, no, but I mean, it's going to happen. But the thing is, like, they're finding out that the teen cigarette smoking rate is actually climbing now because they banned flavored vapor products. And I'm pretty sure there's been a lot of people that have been told them that this is going to happen, and nobody believed them.
I think pretty much everybody has said that a flavor ban will not work.
Yeah. So, I mean,
shocking how we were right.
I mean, our smoking rates and e-cigarette rates actually declined for quite a while. Sure. But the factor is that, yeah, that truck sucks. But the factor is that, yeah, it's kind of fun to watch. But the factor is that, you know, when you start banning stuff, you're going to actually end up hurting, like empowering something else. And that's not a good thing. I mean, we have to understand like how to work together versus working apart. Because if you just start banning stuff, they're going to find another way to get whatever they want to. And you know, I was a teenager. Everyone else was a teenager too. We're like, my first things I did when I turned 18 was I got a pack of cigarettes, I bought some porn, and I got a lottery ticket because I could.
Amen.
So, I mean, if you have that mentality and you're going to buy a pack of smokes, wouldn't you rather have them get like vapor products versus cigarettes?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious why they didn't in this article they didn't talk about, you know, sales of tobacco products outside of San Francisco County if it went up. Because I mean, fuck, I mean, like you said, you want a pack of cigarette. Well, what's to stop someone from getting in their car and going to Marin County, which is 15 minutes away, to get a pack of cigarettes, or another San Mateo County, which is another, you know, San Jose, whatever. You're going to do what you got to do to get a pack of cigarettes.
Right. Well, and that's exactly it. I mean, you know, even like in my neck of the woods up here is, you know, there's you know, a few teens I knew in high school who did smoke because like their parents smoked or like their relatives smoked, and they, you know, they ended up smoking too, which is, you know, it is what it is. I'm not, you know, condoning it by any means, but I mean, it happens. Okay. Yeah. And there's no way we can stop it. It's never going to end up just stop. So the thing is, like, would you rather have products available that are going to be better than said other product or not? If you're going to take away something that's not as harmful for somebody, then what's going to happen? They're going to go to the other thing. It's just like if you have cars and in the cars, like, we are regulated to wear seatbelts because it's safer driving a car with a seatbelt than without a seatbelt. But the factor is that if we ban seatbelts, then people are just going to drive the car without a seatbelt. Like, it's still going to happen. But the factor is, like, what's safer than the other one? And if we can help that, it's going to help with hospital stuff. It's going to help with deaths. It's going to help with plenty of other things besides just one thing. You know what I mean? So to me, like, we've been telling people, Matthew's been telling people in San Francisco have been telling people, John's been telling people that this is going to happen. And now it finally happened. Now they're trying to figure out, why? So, you know, we banned that. So, you know, it shouldn't happen. Well, sorry, that's not how the world works.
Right.
So that's that article. Everyone can read it if they want to. Probably put it in the chat.
No, you tell people to go read it, Brian. You tell them,
okay, go read the article so you can exactly see what I'm talking about. Like, because I didn't read the whole thing.
Yeah, go read the article because it helps you be better informed. That's what's important. Yeah. We give you the gist. We give you the gist of it, but you need to go read the article so you can understand what you read and understand it and help. This
is a fun little tidbit here, actually. Tobacco companies funded a $12 million ad campaign against it. That's a lot of money.
Against vaping.
It's a lot of money.
Yep.
So that's that article.
A lot of stuff they could have bought with $12 million.
Right. Absolutely.
Like a better senator.
Right? Or a very good lobbyist. Could have given it to us. We could use that to help Matthew and his lobbyist adventures.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's that one.
It can move
encourage you to read that one.
It can move closer to alligators.
And then the third one I have in here, there's a fourth one here, but I'm going to see if I get to it. But this was kind of interesting too, actually. So, see, now if you guys would use Firefox, you just have one little button to click up here. Anyways,
here we go. Here we go.
This one's kind of interesting. So this is by a doctor, Dr. David Lucas Smith. Okay. Now, basically, in short, this article.
This the C-Times one? Yeah, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah, basically, in short, this doctor is kind of saying, like, you know, how he's witnessed, you know, e-cigs go from, you know, vaping products go from novelty to like an epidemic and all that stuff. You know, it's a doctor's perspective, and I can understand that. However, what people might skip over is that Minnesota still loses 6,300 lives to smoking, as well as $7 billion in healthcare costs and lost productivity.
Wow.
That's the thing. That's the thing that stuck out to me. This whole article is this two sentences right here. Well, one sentence.
I like the sentence right underneath that, too. The costs of e-cigarette use aren't yet known. We've been around 12 years. We know.
Yep. Well, that's exactly it. So, I mean, if you think about it, let's say in those 12 years, nothing's really been identified. Nothing's really been known, you know, a causation factor.
Right.
You know, I mean, yeah, does it take a long time for, you know, health risks and all that stuff to come about? Absolutely. Same thing with drugs and everything else like that. Any vaccinations, anything that you have that's you put in your body, there's going to be some sort of repercussion of said possibility, especially when you're dealing with, you know, things that, you know, have artificial stuff, you know, sugar and stuff like that. Like Coke had the thing where they switched sugars and, you know, it didn't sit well. People or Lay's had the thing where they switch oils and people end up with stomach issues with it, or, you know, what have you. Like, it's not known until it happens. So the factor is that, like, you know, 6,300 lives are being lost to smoking every year in Minnesota, just Minnesota, and as well as $7 billion in healthcare costs. Well, if let's say, you know, kind of back to the previous article, you know, let's say if we have a healthy alternative, could those numbers go down?
Absolutely.
Sure. But the thing is, though, like, we have to prove it and then prove it to other people for them to say, hey, you know, yes, this is a good thing. Well, how long does that really take? You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, it's for me, it's hard to say that, hey, you know, this is better and here's why. Like, we can do that all day long. But for, you know, people who are making laws and stuff like that, like, they actually need some sort of proof. And, you know, the proof is, you know, what Lindsay does. That's a proof. What Matthew does, that's a proof. Like, that's a proof that we need to show people. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's another article to read that I encourage people to read, and this one in particular because of the fact that it's coming from a different perspective. If you can understand those different perspectives, it's going to help you understand, like, what is more helpful to say when you're talking to people like this versus not. And that's also a key factor to me too. So, yeah, so that's that one. This is actually pretty interesting too. Minnesota takes in nearly $760 million in tobacco taxes and settlement payments, but just 1% of that is spent on prevention. That's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of money. Where's that money going? You know, so
not my pocket.
Here's the doctor's name in case you want to look him up. Please don't say anything bad about him or send anything hateful to him. Okay, I'm gonna just say that out loud.
And on the bottom of your
don't do something like that. Yeah, don't do that.
P.S. Brian Power sent me here.
Right? If you want to email him and, like, talk to him, like, yeah, I mean, I don't think you're gonna get a great response, to be honest. I mean, he seems he's already set in his ways, but I mean, he's aware of the payments, he's aware of the deaths and all that stuff. So maybe, you know, there might be a way to talk to him. I'm doubting it, but hey, who knows, right? So
yeah, we talked about me trying to get someone to come on here.
Right.
I've been trying to get anyone, Matthew, that has written a negative blog or article to actually come on the show and discuss how they got their information, and I've been denied by every one of them so far.
Oh yeah, they'll never ever put their money where their mouth is.
I was just
My
like,
favorite
come
new
on.
thing is, shame me if you will.
Yeah.
Part of my job is getting on TikTok to make sure my clients aren't being completely fucking retarded in their marketing. So one thing I've noticed is these fucking TikTok doctors, and they're my new favorite toy to play with. And they'll sit there, vaping will kill you, and vaping gives you dry mouth, and it'll fucking give you lung cancer and all this shit. And I just ever so gently slide right in that comment section. I go, here's who I am, and here's what I do for a living. I would like to put up your testing and studies against my testing and studies and see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
Not a motherfucker will respond.
Nope. Yeah,
There's
That's a thing.
Tips from the ER. He's not a real doctor, I hear. Mm-hmm. But he did one about vaping. I'm like, you're an idiot, dude.
He's fucking hilarious, though. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I get. I don't have time for that right now. I apologize.
It's like, if you're gonna try and be big dick swinging, back your shit up.
Right.
John's like, I don't have time to be on TikTok as he's on his phone.
Have the weight behind it.
No. I was reading an email. I was no. I was saying the guy that I'm trying to get on the show, who wrote the article or the blog. That's the response to me every time. Oh, I'm really busy. I wouldn't have time for it. Or I'll get, that's 6 o'clock. Well, that's 9 o'clock for me. It's like, well, what are you? You go to bed at 9 o'clock? What? Because you live in New York? I mean, what? This is an opportunity for you to come on the show, explain to actual vapors how you got your information, where basically. Probably a lot, like we joked about it with Nick. Basically, he's going to say, "Well, I Googled it."
I would love to get like Dr. Oz. He's very much anti-vaping.
Yeah.
Well,
and then bring out some of our favorite guests to tell him. Well,
here's the deal:
moron he is.
If we get any doctors on here, anybody who wants to argue stats, I'm going to make sure we have Lindsay Stroud on the helm, and she'll be right there with us throughout the whole ride. I'm down for that. The thing is,
I would spend that entire show going just like this,
right? Well, with percentages, I understand that people do look at percentages and stuff, but percentages can be skewed if you don't do them right.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. So the thing is, just give me the raw data, and I'll make my own percentages, and I'll show you exactly what's right and what's wrong. Lindsay will do the same exact thing. What we need to know is we need to know the exact numbers of the studies and all that stuff for us to actually look into them. Sometimes the studies are wrong; they're skewed. It happens.
Get Joe Rogan. Yeah. Okay.
Good luck with that.
I tell you what, hundreds of people have reached out to Joe Rogan to do something on vaping, and he will not touch that with a 10-foot pole.
And that shocks me. He would do articles or a 3-hour segment about a guy that got probed in fucking Utah by an alien. But he won't take an hour of a show to focus on vaping. That blows me away. And I think if we hit him hard enough, hey, why not? You know what? Fuck it. Why don't we hit him up? I think if we all just slam his Twitter account, all vapors, just slam his. He's about numbers. He's on Spotify now, so it's about views. It's about numbers. Does Spotify maybe say no? You can't do a show on vaping? I don't think so. I think Joe's big enough to tell Spotify, I do whatever I want to do, and you just take it as it is.
Because they'll just tell him, okay, bye.
But I think if he generates enough interest from us vapors on his Twitter account, hey Joe, do vaping. Hey Joe, do vaping. I just hammer that Twitter account. I think he'll do it. He's just gotta. He's big time now. He's big time. But again, like I said, if he could do 3 hours about some guy getting probed in Utah, he could do an hour of fucking on vaping. And I don't think he would have a hard time actually getting people to come on that show to talk about it on both sides, because he would have both sides on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people have put Greg Conley up to be on that show.
Oh, dude,
Greg is the savior. Okay, Greg, all the power holes of Greg. We just have to get him into the right place.
Greg and that fucking doctor together on Joe Rogan's show. That Azir, whatever his freaking name is. Am I getting the name right? The one he's always debating with on CNN.
Gupta.
Gupta.
I can't remember his first name for the
Sanjay?
life of me. Sanjay Gupta. There you go.
Can you imagine 3 hours of those three together on that show? They would be.
I would pay pay-per-view prices for that.
I will pay for Spotify to have that. Spotify, are you listening? I will pay for Spotify to have 3 hours of those three together discussing vaping. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Would it happen? I don't know. Everybody, go to Joe's Twitter account right now and hammer it.
Or wait 5 minutes. 6
Yeah,
minutes.
wait, yeah,
You
don't leave
wait
yet.
till the show's over.
Don't leave yet.
Stick around.
Stick around. Well, the show's almost over. We got less than 6 minutes.
I
Tom,
do have a list.
go, Tom. You're up. Well, let me give you your little bumper
Hold on.
music.
I got to get my list open.
Well, you got time. I'm going to do your bumper. Relax. You ready?
Yep.
Where is your bumper?
I don't
Yeah, I'm just-
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Alrighty then. It's
Okay.
all you. What's pissing Tom off?
Actually, nothing. So
Oh, wow.
instead of things that piss me off,
Uh-oh.
this week you get 9 things that make me happy
Holy shit.
and
like
make
that.
me
He's like,
peaceful.
John, I got something. What do you have? Nothing.
Tits, cold beer, and good barbecue.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn,
That's
I
all
didn't
mine.
add
There
any
there
of
will,
those.
there
I
will
like
be,
those too.
There would be some meat in it. God.
Um,
No? Not smoking, killing some?
no.
Oh, damn.
Okay, first up, we got a sunrise because hey, it's the
Oh,
start of
you
a new
went-
day. That's
You
awesome.
went,
Righteous.
right, you went right for the
The,
heart.
the smell of fresh cut grass and fields.
Mm,
I just love that. Finding ammo for sale. Big fan.
Finding ammo.
Huge.
I'll give 2 thumbs
Sunset.
with that one too.
Playing with my or any other dog. Because let's face it, dogs are just way better than people in like all aspects.
People suck.
They really do.
That's what Tom is telling our viewers right now.
It's not nothing they don't already know. They're just too scared to admit it.
Oh, man.
Taking time to enjoy the moment. So, like, if you're just sitting outside, you just got the good barbecue going, you're smelling that smoke, you're watching the
Yeah.
clouds go by, just
Cold
enjoying
beer.
life.
Cold beer.
Yes, smelling flowers. Because, hey, some flowers smell good. The smell after it rains. That is just fantastic. And campfires and camping. Because I'm
Yeah.
away from people. And there's something on fire.
Yeah.
And everything that Salter said.
And a good woman that can make you a good sandwich.
No.
I had to
These are
put
things that
in.
make me happy.
I'm
People
just-
piss me off and stress me out.
Hitting
I'm
the
good
what?
by myself.
Yeah,
I
but it's a
don't-
little less bad with a good sandwich. Just-
Yeah, that's
True.
right. Yeah,
It makes life a little more tolerable.
That's
This is
right.
true.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. Well, that's good, Tom. I'm glad that you went happy. You went positive today.
Yep,
I dig
I might do it next time too.
Yeah. Hey, I see you're wearing a Brewer's hat too. That's
Yes.
that's good. That's good.
Their armed forces collection game. They wore this style on the field.
Yeah. Yeah.
Paid
All
way
right.
too much for it.
Let's give Matthew the last 3 minutes. Matthew, what do you want to get out there? It's all you.
Actually, I want to bring up a comment I saw earlier that we kind of skipped
Yeah.
over. Somebody said the biggest thing that we need to change right now is this whole vaping mail ban. And I want to be the first one to tell you that there is no mail ban right now. There isn't. USPS is so far behind on making the rules and regulations. We're coming up on the 1 month mark from the time Congress told them to have their shit together. They don't have their shit together. So, legally speaking, there are no restrictions on shipment right now, with the exception of the manufacturers and the distributors have to follow a specific reporting system. Secondly, even after those rules and regulations come out, there's still not a shipping ban. Companies can ship to you. A lot of companies are working on getting things like 3PLs and LTL carriers set up. A little bit more expensive. You're going to have to pay for signature on delivery now. You're also going to have to pay for, or you're going to pay in time. Your order, instead of taking 3 days, it's now probably going to take a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Here's the one singular thing you could do to alleviate that entire issue. Go to a local fucking vape shop.
Yep.
Go buy from your local vape shop. If you have problems with vape shops, go to your local vape shop, have a conversation with the owner of said vape shop or a manager. Guarantee you they will pretty much change whatever they need to earn your business.
Yeah. This is a second life for them. This is a second opportunity for the vape shop to make up for all those years of, I'm not saying gouging, because come on, let's be honest. It takes money to run a business, guys.
It does, especially an actual brick and mortar where you have insurance, heat, lights, employees, you name it. Whereas online stores could charge you whatever the hell they wanted to. With online stores, it's more about selling volume than it is about, quality.
Yeah.
And they didn't have those things to worry about because some Joe Schmo with a computer could run a virtual friggin' vape shop out of his friggin' house. Never have to put pants on.
Never. Yeah, exactly. It's true.
So we are going to have to go back to vape shops. And yes, there is that tried and true argument that you cannot reach every single smoker with vape shops. That is absolutely correct. But the more we shop locally at vape shops, guess what? They're not going to go buy Maseratis and Lamborghinis. They're going to go out and they're going to open another vape shop in an even more rural area. And at the same time, they're going to advocate. They're going to be loud about being vapors, and they're going to teach not only their local politicians, not only their local health boards, but they're also going to teach the general public that vaping is not that bad.
Yeah.
And that vaping does save lives. So if you want this industry to stick around, quit thinking that the glass is half empty and start realizing, be happy you have a fucking cup.
Yeah. Let me add something to this, Becky. Yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Have you tried actually getting in contact with that company? So maybe hit up that company, that whatever, I don't know what A-Liquid it is, and give them the address or the phone number to that vape shop. Have them contact them, and maybe they'll work something out for you. A lot of times with the current situation, there's a lot of things that are going on with these distros and like Matthew's talking about shipping. So there might be a little bit of delay there, but try calling the manufacturer itself, give them the shop's name, phone number, and have them contact them. Maybe they'll work something out. You can go that route. Works.
Oh, that's going to be a huge thing. Your local shop doesn't carry what you like. Guarantee if you have a conversation about them, not only would they specially order for you, they'll probably start carrying it because now they have a customer who can be a repeat customer.
Right.
And how many other people are going to pick up that same product?
Was that a wink, Tom? Tom, are you winking to our viewers?
No,
we're tag teaming this right now. He's on board. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's throwing him that wink and the smile just to sink my words, and I love it.
Mike was asking if I was being held hostage and to wink if I was. Because apparently Tom can't be in a good mood.
Yeah,
Sir, if you're being held hostage with that amount of firearm power behind you, we have an issue.
Tom, are you being probed right now, Tom?
No.
All right. Go ahead, Matthew.
That's really about it. You guys got to start supporting local vape shops, and you really got to not be afraid to be vapors and talk about vaping and challenge every negative vaping thing you see.
Yes.
Because you got to realize there is no money in curing. That's why our government wants it gone.
Yeah.
We're literally curing smoking related illnesses every time we get a smoker converted to vapor, and we have to be the warriors for it. Nobody else is going to be.
Yeah, and something else we've been stressing here the last couple of weeks, guys. Pay attention to what's going on in your. We all federal, but really start paying attention to what's going on in your local city, guys, because they're like sharks. They smell that drop of blood in that water. And right now they smell that drop of blood. And local cities that were thinking about whether or not banning flavors are jumping on board right now because they see their opportunity to get rid of it, keep that revenue coming in from cigarettes. And this is their opportunity. So pay attention, guys. Like we stress, every city, I don't care what city you live in, has a Facebook group page. Everyone, I think, has one. And it's a great way to keep track of what's going on in your city council. If they're having a meeting on vaping, get your ass over there and stick up for this industry. It's very important because right now, like I said, they are like sharks. They taste that blood in the water, and right now they know they can push these issues through. And a lot of times with a lot of these smaller cities, nobody shows up. Guess what? You wake up the next day and your flavors are gone, and don't let that happen. So anything else, Brian, you want to add?
Not really. I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head when, just kind of keeping your eyes and ears peeled and for what's going on. I mean, it's the best thing I can advise, make sure you're on, on Kazaa, on their mailing list. So and that does help. That's not going to it's not going to give you every county or every city or all that stuff, but it's still going to help you with something. I mean, talk to your friends about it, see if they can help you watch a little bit too. The more hands watching, the more you're going to catch something. So just keep wise. And like, if you guys have any questions on help with anything, you can reach out to us and we can direct you in the right place.
Right.
I mean, you can email us at I'm spacing it out actually right now.
It's right
Wednesday
there.
night live show at gmail.com.
Yeah. Also, Brian brought up a great point. We have had people from CASA back on. CASA is us, guys. So they can't, like Brian said, they can't keep track of everything that's going on. So if something's going on in your city, email CASA, let them know what's going on, and they will help you get the word out as well. So keep that in mind. Anything else, Brian?
I think I'm good, actually. Thank you, Matt, for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
I enjoy your company. Like I said, it's great.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me again. Completely unexpected, but I'm happy you invited me again. It was a good conversation tonight.
We're glad we had you. Tom, anything you'd like to add, Thomas?
To Mr. Mad Musician, if you're having a craving for a cigarette, open up your banana vape, dude, and just vape.
Vape the shit out of that banana vape.
Exactly. Even if you don't like it, man, because it's still better than a cigarette.
And also, if you're not a builder, take it up. That's how I fought those urges late at night, dude. I made coils. I filled a mason jar up in a month of coils. You think about that. They're not very big. You're filling up a whole mason jar. You were making some coils. I would just, at night, I had that strong urges, real strong at night. Just started wrapping wire, grabbed a 3mm screwdriver, just started wrapping coils. And did I need them? No, but guess what? It helped get me through that night. So take up building. Go to
Daniel's got a question, Daniel.
Go to Lightning Vapes, order 100 feet of 24 gauge or 26 gauge wire, and just start making coils.
Daniel's got a question. We're going to wait for him to ask this question.
I got a question for the panel. All right, Daniel.
What's your question?
What is your question?
That's not Daniel.
No, I'm just reading her question here.
If you do make your own coils or decide to take up like building on the side, please make sure you have another vape on hand for when you do it. If you get frustrated, take a vape and then go ahead and build your thing while you're doing it.
That's a good question, Daniel.
What I did is I don't.
Nope.
I haven't craved a cigarette in forever. Matter of fact, I can. When I first started, I would say about the first 4 years, I couldn't be next to anyone. It was just a smell. It wasn't that I wanted it. It just the smell just made me sick to my stomach. Now, my best friend still smokes. I've tried everything. He's on 30 years of smoking. I sit right next to him while he's smoking a cigarette and I'm vaping in front of his house, and it doesn't. I have no desire for it. You guys?
Nope. The smell will get to
you still do that
at times.
I do. It's actually really tough for me because I hate smoking now. I was at a point where I was shaming smokers when I first started vaping. I thought I was holier than I was fucked. Yeah. And all it took was just being out and getting a whiff of the brand that I smoked. And I was literally that cartoon animal floating to the scent of the pie. And just taking me along. And every once in a great while, I'll be out and about and somebody will be smoking near me. And I'll just smell that sweet aroma of the tobacco. And my thought goes, a cigarette won't kill me. And then I go, fuck that. No. But yes, once in a great while, I do still crave a cigarette.
I had that happen once. And it was, again, the brand that I smoked. And I was like, oh my God, that smells so good. I'm like, no. This smells better.
Mike, just kidding. Mike. All right, guys. Hey, Matthew, thank you again for coming in on short notice. We always love having you on. It's man. Who knows? We might have you back again real soon. Okay. Thank you to the two boys. Brian, you did a great job with the news tonight.
I tried. I just need longer hair and a cutoff and tattoos. So.
Tim who? Who's
I'm telling you, man, get a wig on Amazon.
I'm just kidding. Thank you to all you guys out there watching. Thank you to everybody that's going to watch the replay. Again, guys, join CASA. Pay attention to what's going on locally. Pay attention to what's going on in your city. Pay attention to what's going on federally. I know it's hard. We kid. an hour a week, man. I don't know. Figure it out. Do you have 10 minutes every day to dedicate to advocacy? Then start with 10 minutes and then each week, I don't know, build up on it a little bit. But our voices need to be heard. We need to all start getting back on that soapbox and start speaking up. And don't be ashamed. Like Matthew said, never be ashamed that you're a vapor. Right. I'm tired of seeing people blowing their vape into their jackets when they're out in public and all this bullshit and nonsense. I'm not saying take a big hit and blow it in some kid's face, but just don't be afraid to vape. That's all I'm saying. And again, follow the rules and regulations. If you're not supposed to smoke there, don't smoke there. Don't vape there. That's it. Anything else, boys, before I hit that button? Say goodbye. Think so. All right. For Brian. Later, everybody.
Monitor, it's going to be your fault.
We'll see everybody next week. Same time, same channel. Peace.